Okay, welcome to our walk cycle tutorial. I've done a few things to this starter file that I did off camera that I just want to let you know about. First of all, I went down here and I changed it so that our file starts on frame 0. I just actually typed 0 in this box and 0 in this box, and then that added it so that it starts at 0 instead of frame 1, because our directions include starting at frame 0, so that makes that a little easier. I also have turned on our grid here, and I did that by hitting show and then checking grid down here, and I'm not going to uncheck it. I also went in and changed the color of the legs of my figure. When I was doing this last year, I kept getting confused as to which leg was which, so what I did was I colored the left leg a blue color and the right leg kind of a pink color, so that when I'm looking at them in the scene I don't get confused, because it's kind of hard to tell with the figure's arms hanging in front of it and everything. Okay, well, our first goal right now is to start the first contact position, and in our PowerPoint that looks like this first slide here. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. Okay, in this we've got the left leg in the front, it's straight with the foot kicked up a little bit, and then the back leg is slightly bent and the foot is touching the ground. And that's what we're going to try to emulate in what we have our figure do. So we'll go back to Maya, and to select the feet, instead of just clicking on the figure, we're going to use this GUI control box over here. And for each leg, the first thing you're going to pick is this foot box control. So you select that, and then we're going to use a combination of the move and rotate tools to get this leg to do what we want it to do. So first we're just going to kind of move it out forward, and then I like to move the other leg back a little bit. Now we know that one's going to be bent a little bit. And then while I've got the foot box selected, I'm going to rotate my foot so it kind of is touching the floor. And then let's see, I think on the other one we have it kicked up a little bit. We're going to try rotating with that too. And then I might move it to straighten out the leg. One thing you've got to be careful when you're rotating the feet is to only rotate on the x-axis, otherwise you end up with the feet being kind of in weird positions and it makes it walk funny. So there we go. Okay, I want that one straight. I want the other one bent a little bit more. So just kind of like that maybe. And rotate the foot on down. Made the leg straight. And you just kind of got to do a series of adjustments to get it the way you want. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, now I want to make sure that I'm on frame 0. And I want to select the feet and the body and key them all in position at this place. So the easiest way to do that is select the cog and then shift click foot box, shift click foot box, and then say key selected objects. And hopefully that will put a key in for us. Okay, I'm going to go back and check that. Sometimes this doesn't seem to key the way that I want it to, and I'm not quite sure what's causing that. Let's try them again, and this time I'm going to hit S on the keyboard. Okay, it's still not doing it the way I want it to. Let me select here and go foot box, cog, and then key selected objects. I've had this trouble in every tutorial I've made. There we go. See, when you see that red line come up, then you know it's keyed properly. And I don't know why, for sometimes when you click, I don't know if it's my keyboard or mouse or what, but sometimes it doesn't quite catch it. But as you can see now, I've got this red line here, and that shows that those things are keyed. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our next position on our PowerPoint. I'll show you what it looks like. It's basically the same thing that we did before, only we're going to be on frame 12 and our legs are going to be switched. We're going to have the right leg in the front and straight and the left leg in the back slightly bent. So the first thing we need to do is go to frame 12. Okay. Then we are going to select the cog of our little torso here and move that forward because our little gal is going to be moving forward into space. And then we are going to switch our feet. So we've got this one in front and this one in back. And then we're going to go ahead and use the rotate tool to fix the feet and then possibly use the move tool again to fine tune. Oops, I didn't quite get on that. There we go. And then make that one a little bit straighter. And then maybe make the other one a little bit more bent if I can. And then rotate her foot down a little bit. Okay, that's not too bad. So then what we want to do is I'm going to hit the selection tool and then hit cog, shift click foot box, shift click the foot box, and hopefully we'll be able to key this. Yep, it sure did this time. Good. Alright, so now you've got a key set right there on frame 12. And if you go back and play blast this, you ought to be able to see a little bit of movement. Okay, we do see some slight movement. Alrighty. Then it ends up going back because the other ones aren't keyframed quite right yet. So that's okay. We see that it's walking forward. The other thing you can do is kind of scrub the play line. And you see it's put in some incremental steps, but we're going to go and fix those a little bit. Okay, so then we go back to our PowerPoint. And our next position is going to be on frame 24, and it's going to look pretty much like it does on the first frame. So we'll go and see if we can move her forward and switch the legs again. Okay, so again, make sure we're on the right frame. 24, pick the cog, move her forward slightly again. Okay, and then we're going to position the feet again. And again, rotating the feet up, and then I'll probably have to move it again. See if I can get the other one. I have to go back and hit it again. I must have hit something wrong there. There we go. Alright, that's better. Left leg needs to be a little bit more straight. Okay. Alright. Now we'll go hit the selection tool, cog, shift foot box, and see if we key selected objects. Good. That must be the magic trick. Hit the selection tool, then hit each part, and then go ahead and hit key selected objects. Okay. Alright, let's play blast this and see how it looks. Okay, as you can see, we've got a figure that's moving forward, and at the end it slides back, but that's because we haven't finished the whole animation. And there were some preset keys that were already in this one. But pretty much you've got a real jerky walk cycle, but you actually have this figure taking a series of 2 steps. Okay, so I'm going to pause right there, and then we'll come back with the in-between steps. Somehow in between those frames, but what we want to do is fine-tune that and make it look a little bit more realistic. So on frame 6 you're going to have this passing position, and then on frame 18 you're going to have pretty much the opposite one. Okay, so just switching the legs. And what that looks like in Maya is, there we go, on frame 6, your character's positioned like this, and then on 18, my computer's a little slow today. On 18, you've got the same position, opposite legs, okay? And then what you do is you just continue through that way, changing the character's leg positions to match what's in the PowerPoint, okay? You're going to have a part where it's actually doing the stepping down part, and in both the left side and the right side, and you just kind of go and fill all that in. If you get everything done, then I'll show you real quick what my first little one looked like. I will go ahead and save this one, and then if we go back to here, this is the one that I did a couple years ago, as you can see. We'll get it opened up, and I'll do a play blast for you so you can see. It's still pretty simplistic and jerky, but it'll kind of give you an idea of what your final one should look like. Okay. Okay, there she goes. So she actually took steps and walked across the stage. It's still pretty jerky because it's not completely finalized like you would for a real professional animation, but basically you've got the basic mechanics of taking a step across the way. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple more videos for the next lesson, so stay tuned.